Oh, it's cold. Welcome to Carrow Road, where Norwich City have beaten Sheffield Wednesday 3-1. That's right, I've used the word Norwich City and beaten without by in the middle, so that's good. It's the first win here in 3 months, to the day in fact. September the 9th, Norwich City beat Birmingham here 1-0. This is of course December the 9th, and Norwich picked up a very welcome 3-1 win, very handy indeed. And of course they hadn't won in the league in 8 games before today too in general, so much needed, much deserved as well in the end. The second half performance from that Norwich City side today was all the best bits that we've seen from them all season, and probably the best 45 minutes of football we've seen from them at Carrow Road all season, I would imagine. I can't really recall them playing at that level. Sheffield Wednesday rather retreated into their shell, which, given they were leading at half-time, was unnecessary and a surprise. But that wasn't all down to Sheffield Wednesday and their own issues. They were booed off by their fans at full time. It was just as much down to the way Norwich went about it in the second half, improving their tempo, moving the ball quicker, direct but with pace as well, and lots more aggressive running, and having just spoken to James Maddison as well. Just more fire in the belly, and as he'd said, they've been lacking that. So he's admitting that. The players realised that and spoke to themselves about it in the dressing room at half time, and in fairness, duly delivered, which is sometimes the key thing that's missing, is the actual producing it. It did require Josh Murphy to be replaced at half time by Marley Watkins, who was excellent, I thought, overall in the second half. Josh really struggling for confidence. That's all it is. You know, he's got the quality, but he needs to be given a break just to collect his thoughts, regain some composure, and then reintegrated back in, and with Marley now back in the side and fit, that allows Daniel Farke to do that. One other thing that Daniel Farke has been allowed to do is play Alex Pritchard. He started today. They got 80 minutes out of him, which is pretty good for his first start this season. Anyway, I don't think he started for the under-23s either. So a significant run, and wonderful to watch Pritchard play because he's such a good player. We saw all the good signs of him, and when you watch James Maddison, and I don't need to wax lyrical about how good James Maddison is because I've done it all season, but even at James Maddison's level, you can see that Alex Pritchard is a couple of years down the line, and he's got so much quality. It's just glorious to watch him play, and really good to see those two on the pitch together, and not really, touch wood, look too short defensively in terms of balance of the side. A word here for Mario Vrancic, who, yes, still gets caught out in possession and wants too much time at times, but he battled, and I thought he did that to a degree at Cardiff as well. The return of Tom Tribal, as I'm now calling him, that's Tribal, in the second half substitute. I think we could see a bit of composure from him that maybe Norwich have been missing in that in sort of holding midfield role. So lots of positives there. This all off the back of a first 45 minutes where it really was not looking very good. They were behind to a really sloppy defensive goal, although Wednesday did work it very well, and it was a glorious little cross from Adam Reach that made it, and Jordan Rhodes scored it, not Gary Hooper. And I think probably the reason that, because Norwich still had 2 wonderful chances that Nelson Oliveira couldn't take, and really the first one especially, slotting it past the far post, open from 8 yards, ridiculous miss. And I think in that context, not just of those 45 minutes, but off the back of the 8 previous games, you did really think this is terrible, especially off the back of, you know, the week Norwich have had and all the negativity around the place. So that, in a way, speaks volumes for what they did at half-time and how they turned it around. And hopefully we've witnessed the low point in terms of that first 45 minutes, because I've been kind of thinking about this. Norwich may well be a quite streaky side. They've had a great run, of course, of form after their early wobbles. They've now had a terrible run of form. It'd be nice to think that having got finally got a win and broken the back of that bad run, they can do something a lot more positive over a sustained run of games now. That said, trip to Leeds isn't an ideal place to start trying to do that. That's going to be a very tricky fixture for them. The goals, well, James Maddison scored the equaliser, having benefited from Alex Pritchard. He took it really well though, James Maddison. It was a difficult finish. Timm Klose, a bullet header from a corner, left free, open mark. If Norwich were defending like that, they'd have been lynched. So Sheffield Wednesday, they're showing their soft spot, but it's a wonderful header. And the difference between this and other home games, Timm Klose headers it 2 yards over the bar, or whoever gets the free header headers it 2 yards over the bar. Norwich completed the scoring 3-1 with a penalty in the 5th minute of injury time. Nelson Oliveira always going to take it. He started the move. Harrison Reed, Nelson did actually play in his runner this time, and Harrison Reed was brought down by Barry Bannon, and that was it. Wednesday are a curious side, and as I've kind of felt all season, they're in a situation where Carlos Carvajal has taken them 2 years really close, and this year is kind of like, if you're not going to be an improvement, we're going to really struggle to back you. They spent a load of money too, and they've got some really neat players in there, but you just wonder if maybe things have a cycle, and that cycle's coming to end, and the Wednesday board are going to have to decide what they do about that. As for Norwich, you know, we will have to wait and see, won't we? When they play like that in the second half, we've got no worries about where they'll end up in the season, because it will be, I think I've already seen people say it was entertaining. You know, if you win, you create chances, you take them, you win games, that's entertainment. That's all it is. And it's such fine margins, because you fail to take the odd chance and all of a sudden it's not entertaining, and you know, everything's taking too long, and the atmosphere and the noise, given there were significant gaps in the crowd today, as I said, it's been one of those kind of weeks. The noise in the second half was very good. So yeah, probably sums up Norwich's season. A shocking first half, a very, very decent second, and we head to Elland Road next. But either way, at least we've got finally something positive to enjoy over the next few days. Thank goodness.